Hey everybody, welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover One Piece, Black Clover, My Hero Academia, Promised Neverland, Chainsaw Man, Samurai 8, and Jujutsu Kaisen week to week. I'm your host, Eagle Sama.
It's your boy Kiko.
Noxie.
And before we get started, as always, we'd just like to say that the Project Manga podcast is now available on Spotify, Anchor, all audio listening platforms, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. So you can find all those links in the link tree in the description down below, along with our Discord and any of our other social media communities, online communities, stuff like that. So, about Jump this week, man. Like, God, Chainsaw Man hit me with the left this week, man.
you thought what?
I said Chainsaw Man hit me with the left this week, man.
Oh, I mean, it hit us all.
Like, what? I mean, not really Noxie. I feel like he was suspicious that she was on some shit, but
yeah.
Let's go.
Well, let's get into it.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Plus, you already knew it was the great prophet Noxtradamus anyway.
Nah,
Noxtradamus.
I told you that off screen, and you ran with my shit.
Sounds good on the stream, bro.
We can probably get right into this weekly coverage here. Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 47, Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 80, Evening Festival.
Oh yeah.
Kiko, can you start this?
Yeah, I definitely will take this. I want to start it off right away to say Mahito got that boom biking no jutsu, that partial expansion. Wow!
Yo!
I didn't even think of that.
Versatile as hell.
Yeah, Mahito's got way too many.
It's easy to
He's
forget
crazy
because
versatile.
Yeah, it's easy to forget because like we haven't seen him for literally like 40 chapters. It feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
that partial expansion no jutsu, man. That's that shit. And he just like one shots all those Mekamarus that were supposed to be like quasi first level and whatever, first grade shaman. So it's like,
yeah.
Wow. Okay, well,
those were the fodder Marus.
Yeah, maybe they just weren't on the same level as what he was using in the what's his arc?
The Goodwill event.
Well, Goodwill, that's what
Goodwill event,
where we're fighting all the other, the class. That
he just needed time to hop into his Eva.
Yeah, I was gonna say that even too is that it is like an Eva or a G Gundam. It's close,
Mekamaru.
It is pretty close with that, but Kokichi falls through the floor like Mirio or Kitty Pryde style, and you're just like, oh, how did he just fall through the floor? There ain't no damage on the floor or nothing, but he fell through that bitch and came out that motherfucker with General Frankie, ready to roll.
Hell yeah, that's exactly it.
But yeah, that shit was that was tight. I was super hyped to see, and I thought either he was about to just get auto-wrecked or, Geto was going to get involved, and neither of those things really happened, other than Geto does have the chafe grenade. Yeah, again, the curtain, And is that like microscopic fucking curses that he's got out,
We've seen the curtains before. I feel like we've seen a curtain from Gojo. I feel like Gojo has one, and then we also saw a curtain in the Goodwill event that was keeping Gojo out of the fight with Hanami.
Yeah, but that's a little different because it's jamming radio frequency, like a chaff grenade.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, is it microscopic curses, like literally in the air, distorting airwaves or something? Because that's pretty fucking, that'd be a tight little ability to have.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it like in that way, but yeah, maybe there is like, certain conditions that, like maybe curtains are like a normal thing that exorcist can use, and like each one has like different conditions or like rules set to it that like behave like differently for everyone who uses one. But
that makes sense.
But everyone can have like that blanket, style, ability or whatever. But I think that's the first time that Geto has used some kind of abilities in the main story so far that we've seen, because up until now he's been like, I don't want to use any curse. He's been making a point to not do anything. It's only been the flashback. Yeah, probably to stay off of Gojo's radar.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
this ultimate Mechamaru thing is really tight. The conditions on it, like to where he's been storing up his life force
For
Yes.
17 years.
and it's
Yeah.
got 17 years, 5 months, 6 days charge time, yo. And he
Yeah.
was like, 1 year charge. No. Get that motherfucker.
So
Oh,
what do you
that
guys? So,
shit was
what
tight.
do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that like when he runs out of that's his life force, or do you think that he has his
No.
own like?
I think
special
that
life
just
force
is the
reserve, or
charge
this is
on that
just-
thing, probably.
Okay. So it's the
Yeah.
Mechamaru charge, not like he himself's life force. Like
That'd be
Yeah.
crazy if he fell out when this thing runs out. That'd be like-
Yeah, I was thinking of it similar as Koenma's Mafuken. You know, he's been putting his energy into that for 17 years, and he's been sitting. You know, obviously he wasn't wasting his time connected to all them plugs and shit. He was doing stuff. So
Yeah,
you know, it's
Yeah.
good to see that. You know, that he just wasn't going to come out and be wrecked, because I thought that was definitely a possibility.
Mahito's nautical mode.
Was that a mackerel, or what did he turn into there? You know?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but that was super cool to see him just turn into a fish real quick.
He had like bird feet too when he jumped away, but no
Yeah.
bird wings. That was really weird. I was like, are those bird feet or are those like frog feet? Did he just jump with those?
Oh.
I feel like they were like rabbit feet. He was like t t t t t.
Yeah. That could be too. That's pretty good. Do we know what the Shibuya plan is that fucking Kokichi's talking about? You know,
I think it's to seal Gojo.
Yeah.
okay.
So my man was a double agent, like I was talking about. He was turning back to the side. He's like, "Nah, these are my boys. I'm about to tell them about these guys' plan.
Yeah, they
Can't let them go outside like that."
Yeah, so Mahito got the fingers in the Goodwill event because of Mechamaru then. Because Mechamaru was working for them back then.
Yeah, I would say that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Like,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Wow.
So probably the biggest thing for me that was kind of a little bit underlined in here, and maybe it's been talked about before, but I guess I didn't really think it in this much in depth, is that Mahito's talking about how he can tell where the cockpit is because he can sense the concentration of Juryoku in the head. So like he's can sense like with precision, you know, where the strongest point of Juryoku is. I don't know if we've had that yet in this story. So I mean that's because that could lead us to a Ko situation, right? Like if I got all my Juryoku here, you know, and I'm weak here, and I could get blah, you know. So
that sense, you know, where like you're going to attack with like the highest density of energy, because you can see where you're shifting your cursed energy to before you go. That's really cool too, because then that can turn into that whole Greed Island situation where the biscuit training, you know what I mean, where you're shifting your energy throughout your body. That's really cool, because now we're talking about like feints, you know what I mean, and now we're talking about like shit like that. But also I feel like that could be like a Mahito exclusive, because like his whole thing is like soul, you know, like reforming and like reshaping and whatnot. So that could be that could be a Mahito joint.
Yeah.
I feel like there wasn't a whole lot to this chapter. It was just kind of a lot of action scenes. Yeah.
But I like how even though
I really don't got much else to say.
I think it's cool how although it was like really heavy action, there's still some implications to take away from it. So like we get like some really cool, like even if it's just all action, like Gege still injects, you know, a lot to think about from, and it was kind of a short chapter too. It felt like it was on like 13-14 pages.
It definitely was short.
A lot of these chapters this week seemed short though. And then I mean really the end of it is just you know, finally time for the big boy, you know, whatever fucking Kokichi's got ready for him, he's about to, you know, unleash. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's some kind of, you know, I mean, some explosion that doesn't kill himself, but it's still like a Vegeta final atonement, just orb explosion and all the. Or it's a diva for Overwatch where he just like jumps out the cockpit and it fucking just ghost rides and blows his ass the fuck up. Like that would be crazy too, you know.
Damn.
Yo.
I don't know.
Nuts.
Next chapter.
Wonder what it is though.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I think that's about it for this chapter though. We can probably move on to Samurai 8 chapter 23. What good will that do you?
Oh.
And I just gotta say, Daruma on his Geen Freaks Greed Island shit. Yo, he set up the game. He set up the game.
Yeah, he made the game.
That's fucking nuts.
That's
Yeah,
so
that's
crazy.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, that was huge.
So great. I knew
Training the future
I knew that's exactly where you were going. What that was going to be exactly what you wanted to bring up. That's so cool. Also, like,
I loved it.
I mean, another thing is that, like, I don't know why, but for some reason, I never asked what happened to Daruma's princess.
Yeah.
I thought of it, but I don't know if we've talked about it, but I definitely thought about it because I mean, hey, he's a samurai without a princess or a body. I mean, like,
and
obviously
he's
that's not his
reincarnated,
body.
right? So like, shit obviously went south.
That's so crazy. And like, okay, also, young Daruma is Hokage Naruto,
right?
With the heat, he's got heat in his hand, and I was like, all right, so he
did have the banger.
Yeah, I was always mad about how when he transformed his samurai soul into the two pistols, like chapter or whatever that was, like 13, 14. I was like, man, I hope there ain't guns in this motherfucking shit. But if it's only Dharma with the guns, that makes me feel better. Or like just very rare, like, and you might see like a samurai transform the shit into a bazooka or something like that. You know, like that's cool as long as I don't get like a lot of fucking, you know.
Yeah. Daruma had the sniper rifle a couple chapters ago too.
Yeah, the sniper rifle too. That's his joint. I hope that's just how he's running.
Guns is just like how Daruma does it. And also, what's up with Daruma's master in Bay mode? What's up?
That's so great to see because that opens the gate with okay, so you can have female samurai. And then does that mean they can have a prince instead of a princess?
A priest? A priest? Yeah. Okay.
But then that's okay. So then if that can happen, then like that means that Kotsuga can be Ryu's princess.
And that's the funniest fucking part of this whole chapter is like they're exactly like us, and Kotsuga's like, no, they're not. What the fuck? Hell no, they're not like us. What are you talking about? Like, because Ryu says that they're just like us. No, of course they're like us, bro. What are you trying to do here?
Because Kotsuga doesn't do shit.
No,
sit there and talk.
Ryu's princess confirmed.
Yeah,
he's Ryu's priest, man.
That would be tight, though. I hope that does happen that way. Yeah. I like
it would be fitting, you know, in today's climate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that, and just right at the beginning, I love how she wipes the blood because we talked about how her nose was bleeding, you know, with her prayer, and I mean, it just shows that she's still a beautiful, naive, sophisticated newborn baby, and she's still got like. She's still got some time to go.
Last week, she's a what the hell was it?
I don't even remember.
You called it
a muskox.
The muskox took me out. Newborn baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah, beautiful, naive, sophisticated newborn baby. You know, she's still got some time to grow. You know, like, I mean, I'm gonna have these aneurysms, you know, every week. So get ready for them. But
I'm gonna have an aneurysm if I hear a couple more of these.
And I thought it was cool that we got some more exposition on the actual guidelines of like what has to happen for you to kind of go out as a samurai, where you need to, you know, the dude is telling Hachimaru, like, you know, if you lose your princess, you lose basically your will to live. It's the same thing as dying. And then you lose half your strength because she can't pray for you. And then I think after that point, if it gets any further than that, it gets to the point where, you know, we saw the old guy at the very beginning against Atta, how he was like in his face shit talking him and he like disintegrated away.
Yeah.
I think so. Two things so samurai losing their heroism means they no longer have a calling. You know, he's asking Hachimaru, like, what is your calling? And if you lose that, that's, I think, when you actually die. Whereas if you lose your princess, you lose a great deal of power, which the difference between the two translations I saw was a princess will strengthen a samurai dozens of times is Viz. And then I seen just tenfold for other, but dozens of times would mean 24, 36. More, that's more than tenfold for sure. And it's definitely more than double. So like that's I can't wait to get a little bit more in-depth information on that because I mean that sounds like your princess is everything. That's more than Yeah,
Which is
I mean,
crazy because Daruma, and Hachimaru teamed up to destroy
Doesn't have a prince.
to destroy that shit, and he didn't have a princess.
exactly.
Daruma had the prayer. Like, what would this man be doing? Like, he'd be like,
dude.
like, oh my god, this man would be out here just.
Oops, I cut down this galaxy by
Right. Slash this chunk of the universe off.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Yeah,
You
and it's
know?
like
Crazy.
And like I don't know if anybody else like felt this parallel, but it feels a lot like Star Wars with like the relationship between Daruma and Atta, which kind of felt that way like in this chapter when we got the flashback, because it looks like Daruma is in more of like an Obi-Wan Kenobi role, whereas Atta seems like more of an Anakin Skywalker.
Yep.
But then like also like Daruma is in like a Yoda type role right now in his like small cat form. You know what I mean? So I thought that was like a really cool situation too.
And the Hachimaru is obviously Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Big parallels. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Dude. And what I really want to talk back more about the game situation where Hachimaru's counting frames like he's playing a game. Like, and that shit, I'm like, this motherfucker needs to play some League or something, counting frags. That's a faker, move over. Like he's faker. He can seal on fucking frames, like, and he's
yeah, that's some SK Telecom shit.
So I was like, damn, and then
move over.
And then in his fight, he's like, I need 5 frames to like do my little reverse and come back at him, and it's like.
He hit the backstep spin on his ass.
Yeah, that was super sick.
I only need 5 frames for that. It's like, whoa, man! If he's gonna be able to break it down by frames, like fights, like that sounds broken. Like you basically are stopping time almost. Or
Daruma, he pretty much stated like, as far as like predicting and anticipating the enemy and like mentally, the game mentally, he's better than damn near anybody.
Yeah.
It just comes down to putting in the work now to get the experience and leveling his body up to get the strength. And,
But I like how they spend some time, like, establishing that being a samurai is like more than just, for Hachimaru is more than just like the skills that he acquired while playing this game his entire life. So it's cool that that's like a factor still. Like how good he was at the game is like now that he's like got a little bit more of an understanding of what being a samurai means, he can start applying some of this like video game shit, because I would have been a little bit turned off if it's just like, oh, you're prodigious and super tight right out the gate because you played this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that the number 2 best player in this game is also Nanashi, or he goes by by that? I mean, is that a coincidence, or is that his brother?
Think of that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Because he's a fucking shut-in, and he had some fucking like I don't know. I mean, definitely some kind of social disorder shit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he got like mind wiped, or something, and got put in a Hachimaru situation, but not as extreme. But yeah, that's definitely something to think about. But there's no way though I can go and let this chapter go without talking about folks with the pitchfork. Like he's
and I love his holder. And with the Buster swords and shit, yo, hell yeah,
whoa,
bro. Folks had the pitchfork on phone. Them had him ready to go, and then Money had the 2 fucking swords behind him, and he's like,
so sick.
It really was.
That was such a cool design. I'm sad. Like I hope that. I mean, maybe I don't know. I hope that dude comes back specifically, but it's just cool to see like different samurai soul styles and different like fighting styles in general, because not only did he have like
they're not all just samurai swords.
Like not only did he have like a really cool design to his samurai soul, but like his combat tactics were like really like cool at the same time, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, and I mean you get to see also Atta and how Dharma he was talking about his master, and he's like, well, I don't even really gotta do shit with my fucking prodigy that I'm training right now. This motherfucker, I say words to him and he's boom on it, and he's ready. Obviously the illest out here. So
little do you know.
Yep. That's definitely
he's gonna be Darth Vader.
Tragic.
Yeah. Get some James Earl Jones to do the VA.
Say, though.
Or me. I'm the new James Earl Jones. They're gonna hit me up for this. For the
you ain't that deep. You pretty deep. You ain't fucking with the god James Earl Jones out here.
I know. I keep
So
my
we are
voice
now
higher
to the
on
point
on the episode though.
where just just the final three, Hachimaru, Ryu,
Yeah, like how do you guys
and
feel about
Dharma.
how do you guys feel about that? About how quickly
Well, I think Hachimaru is gonna beat Ryu.
Yep.
Well,
And Dharma's going to step down. And
maybe it would be kind of redundant to see it repeated, but I feel like he's going to beat him, and then Dharma is going to step down and let Hachimaru get the battle.
Yeah, for sure.
To
That has
fight
because
to fight
the
the
logically
organizer.
you would say, okay, Dharma, go ahead and get this dub and get this 1 billion yen.
Yeah,
But
he might fight.
story-wise-
They might fight. I mean, Dharma might fight Hachimaru because, I mean, it would be, I feel like an even fight because he doesn't have a princess.
Whoa, hold on, dude. Wait, when they took out the meteor or the moon, though.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's a joint effort.
Yeah, but Dharma didn't have a princess at all, and like that. I mean, are we saying that? I mean, I remember we were talking about it on a previous episode how like we didn't think it was quite 50-50, even though.
Yeah, no, it's probably like 30-70 more in Hachimaru's favor. Yeah. But I don't think that's just representative of their strength as a whole. Like Dharma's got a lot of other factors that are not just I mean, battle experience is something you can't measure easily. So
yeah, that's right.
But yeah, that's what I got for this one. That's a hot chapter. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, dude.
So now we can probably move on to Chainsaw Man. Chapter 43, Jane fell asleep in the church, which is a weird ass title. It's just so fucking random.
No, it's not. It's not. And I feel like you only read Viz, and that's why it's random to you. We actually got a translation on all that Russian. Viz didn't translate any of that Russian.
Any of the Russian?
No, zero. No Russian. There's fucking 8 panels of fucking Russian with no translation. It's just basically garble. Like, why would Viz not translate that? That's so fucking dumb.
Oh, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay,
let me go read it. Let me bring it up. I have it. I saved it because I want to read it.
Was the only chapter this week I didn't read the Viz for.
Yeah, let me go back because it after. Okay, fucking. First of all, Retse definitely works for the Gun Devil. So like, let's just get that out of. She's not the Gun Devil.
So that's the name of the song, then I'm assuming.
Yeah. But let's just read. Let me read what I got off the. So, everything is ready for my date with Jane. We are going to the church in the morning. We'll have coffee and omelets in the cafe. After we've taken a stroll in the park, we'll go to the aquarium and see dolphins and penguins Jane loves so much. We'll rest in the afternoon. So what did we do in the morning? Let me see. We'll reminisce and remember, but we will not remember. And then it goes to like the raindrops. So it's like she, I don't know, like is reminiscing, but we're not getting all of it. And there's something that happened between we will reminisce and remember, and then we will not remember something. There's a big chunk missing there that is we're gonna get it. Like we have to get what that chunk is between there. But yeah, I had to save that because that upset me quite a bit.
And I mean,
bro, when she hit the switch on this man and said, "Ka!" hemmed his ass up and put his ass in the polylock, bro. Like that shit was over, man. I'm literally looking at the panel for like a solid 30 seconds where she broke his arm. I'm like, did this bitch really just fucking break this man?
Yeah, dude, that shit was
switch the panel next. She said, I'm like, what the?
And I knew she was gonna activate. I mean, like I thought she was gonna be like the Typhoon Devil or something like that, but I guess she's just Black Widow from Marvel Comics.
Something like that.
Another bastard bitch just taking advantage of Denji, trying to manipulate him and fucking just put him through hell.
Oh yeah. We knew what it was. I thought
the Typhoon. The Typhoon Devil refers to her as Lady Reze, and is clearly one of her is under her in whatever this Devilman hierarchy that we're gonna get. So that's good to see.
So you think that it goes like Gun Devil and then Retse?
Yeah, I think she's
maybe some things underneath between her and like the Typhoon. Okay, so you think that there's like a hierarchical, pyramid of okay.
That's exactly what I think. And man, it's so funny that Psycho Buddy does all this tough talk and gets fucking one shot. And I love the panel that's all blurry. At first I didn't like it, and I had to look at that panel that's really fucking blurry, but it's her strangling him and him trying to fucking flail and die. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? And I just stared and like, oh, he's trying not to. He's trying not to die, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was pretty
that was
tight.
crazy, dude. She gave him chances. She's like, please, like, don't do this. Like, get away.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you're just a little.
I want these hands, guy.
Yeah.
I need an eyeball, and I need like some facial features here to go run him over to your man. You know, come up off that. I won't even kill you. Just give me the eyeball on the nose or something, and we'll run over here to your man, and that'll be it for him.
Yeah.
And then
done.
Yeah.
Man, there's almost nothing to this chapter too. It's like
there really isn't
a bunch of panels. It's like
I think the only thing that we were supposed to take away from the chapter is just
the Reze thing.
Reze being a goon, and then like also her having ulterior motives with Denji, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I liked really still at the beginning though, where you get to see Denji having his inner dialogue. It's not monologue because he's talking to Puchita in his mind, and Puchita's like, he's like, which girl do I like? And he's like, not fucking Angel Man. That's a man. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
First off, no. And then that short girl tried to kill me, so no. Power is always trying to kill me, so no.
Yeah.
You know, like I like that. You know, like even
why do
though
they got everybody looking like a snack though? Like Power honestly is looking like a snack right there.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, like Reze and
Makima.
Yeah, Makima. I was gonna say Makima. Snacks.
Yeah.
Scrumptious.
Scrumptious. You know what I'm saying? Scrumptious.
That was definitely.
I fuck with the green eyes on Reze too, but she a hoe, man. Fuck.
Oh, that was your bae.
Yeah. Well, she changed, man.
Yeah, she changed. She definitely changed.
She changed on us.
Yeah, she says, "Quit your job and run away with me." It's like, nah.
Yeah, let me bring you to the Gun Devil and get your ass yacked on.
I bet that hurts so bad for you, Eagle. You've been gassing Reze up for weeks.
I mean, just because he wants another girl other than Magma real bad, and that's
I do too.
I know, but it's. I mean, this is the story that we're getting: is that everybody is here to fuck Denji's mind up. Like
Reze is Makima's here now. Fuck her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Reze might be worse than Makima because Makima at least has like. Well, we don't really know, but she might be like, "This is all for the greater good, and I had to do this to you in order to, keep the peace in the world." So we may have that. We don't know that.
But I mean, there's still that underlying like factor that Kishibe is skeptical of Makima. That still hasn't like been like fully, explored, like expounded on. Like we got that for like a page, months ago, and then like that hasn't been revisited yet. So like that's always in the back of my mind too. It's like Kishibe kind of like seems like he's got like the instinct to like know when like something isn't right. And that we should probably pay attention to that. But I mean, Makima could still be the Gun Devil.
I mean, so could Reze, but I don't think so.
Exactly.
but yeah, let's. And maybe Beam's the Gun Devil. Maybe Angel Man's the Gun Devil. Maybe they're all the Gun Devil.
Maybe they're all the Gun Devil. Everyone in Denji's life is the Gun Devil.
I really wanted Beam.
Devil.
Yeah, I'm.
No,
Chill,
bro.
I like Aki.
Yeah, Aki's good. Cone.
We can probably move on from this though now. It's not a lot to this chapter, like we said. So, Promised Neverland, chapter 155, Resurgence. Who wants to take the helm on this one? I mean, I'll start it out by saying, like, Cicero, the guy took the ultimate L this chapter, man. Let's just like say it. He lost a leg. And that motherfucker ain't coming back.
Yeah, we knew someone was going to throw themselves, in front of Norman. You know what I mean? We were talking about that.
I thought he might honestly get his head chomped off.
I know.
Me too. I thought it was flat out dead.
Yeah.
I thought it was Cicero was going to take it too, and I thought he was going to die. I did, but he's about to get.
I do remember you saying last week that it would be Cicero.
I mean, he's just the most hard, ride or die. It seems like, like he definitely is riding for Norman no matter what. Because it didn't even take much for him to like, all right, Norman wants to switch the plan. It's time to switch the plan. You can't go back on our man's Norman here. Whatever he says is right, basically. Yeah. And so I was pretty sure. But Cicero's about to get an Adam foot. He's about to get a swole ass leg and kick the fuck out of somebody down the street.
Also,
metal leg.
So there's Adams there. That took that there's 3 Adams there, and one grabbed Barbara, one grabbed Cicero, and then they bounced, and then the third Adam is just also running away. Like, why wouldn't one Adam stay and fight this situation? Because
Yeah, I don't remember.
Adam ain't doing shit, bro.
what do you mean? He was like the deciding factor.
Adam got
fighting
washed
Lewis.
by Adam got well, he didn't get washed by it, but Adam got his ass beat by Leuvis.
Yeah, I know, but like he still was a valuable tank and like asset in that fight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you need a meat shield.
yeah, exactly. Like, why wouldn't one, like, he's just gonna run away just because
He's got to guard the Vanguard, man. Get them dudes away.
Yeah, okay, all right, fine, whatever. I just sat there and I was like, why?
I feel it though.
Yeah.
Does
But I feel like the queen-
Zazi's teddy bear bother anybody else?
His
Zazi's
tiger?
his little teddy bear that's hanging from his fucking little mat. Like, he fixed his
Oh, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
bag and he's got the
Yeah.
little teddy bear there, and
I
it's
thought
like
that was a
smiling,
tiger.
and it's. I'm pretty sure it's a bear, but it looks really happy, and it's like, man, this is not a happy time. This bear is way too happy for all the shit that's happening right now.
Right?
So the teddy bear's final boss, you're saying?
Hell yeah,
What's his
teddy
name?
bear and Phil.
The bag is looking tattered like a motherfucker, man. Like this shit is barely hanging on.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, I'm so mad that Norman didn't just be like, I brought a new bag.
You should have had a new bag.
I
We just
saw
got a
this
stack
coming.
of bags on deck.
9,000 IQ.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So
420 IQ.
what is up with this? Like, so it's implied the queen ate like everybody.
Everybody.
Bro,
That
that
makes
crone,
For
the
that
crone face was trippy as fuck,
Dude,
bro.
Crone
that
face was
shit
like,
blew
what?
me.
Yeah, that
That's when,
shit.
that's when I went into the group chat. I was like, you guys.
I know.
What is
I
this
know.
chapter?
I know. I knew that's what did it for you.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
that's the only thing it could be, other than that or the last panel. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So what's up with that? Like, are we about to? That's Phil, right?
She's like, yeah.
No.
She
but-
ate Phil, and
but for
he's
real
the
and for
true
true.
god.
No, for
And
real
now
and for
she's
true.
become the true being.
No, that face for real and for true next week is going to be Isabella.
It could be.
Is gonna
She
be-
got eaten. I don't think she got eaten though.
Damn.
We haven't seen
Yeah,
we
I
haven't
guess-
seen her since, and you
Yeah.
and you know that they're like, oh, you let them all escape. Like,
Man,
there's
you
Yo,
heard
that's
Eagle's feelings.
mama.
that's
Yeah, you heard
mama,
Eagle's
bro.
feelings. He said, "Ugh."
Oh my god.
He said no.
No! Yo! Yo!
Yeah, yeah.
What? So
Yeah.
is she becoming a true human, or is she like the apex being of their, like, you know, organism species or whatever, where she has no
Well,
core, like she's reached the apex point?
I don't know, because I feel okay, because like this is my thoughts on it, right? So like Norman is the tightest brain that these demons have seen yet, probably since they started
Mhm.
doing this. Isabella is probably second best.
Yeah.
You know, what
She's
I mean?
up there for sure. Yeah.
So like, it would make sense that if the queen were to ascend to this level without eating Norman, that she could probably do it by eating Isabella.
Dude, it's definitely gonna be fucking mama.
I know, bro.
I hope
Like,
she
just
stays
that makes
faceless.
so much sense too.
Yeah,
like, if she
especially
pops
seeing
out, they're gonna be
Crone.
like, Nandator! Oh my god! Like, they're gonna be like, what the fuck?
I hope she stays faceless though, because that's really
Yeah, that'd
fucking
be tough.
scary in its
Yeah,
own. Like,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
faceless shit is like, I was like, oh
Yeah.
damn, we got a what's the name?
Some kind of
Obito,
fucking-
one of the faceless
Oh,
masks, bro.
Hey. Yeah.
Hell
But no, I do kind of want to go back towards the beginning because Sung-Ju's so hard body, he just cuts his own arm off
Yes.
and throws it to the.
Yeah,
let's
that's
let's see
crazy.
how they react. We'll
Yeah,
just pow.
and that was
There
so
you go.
crazy because I was like, no, Sung-Ju. And I was like, wait a minute, you can regenerate.
Yeah, he just.
And it's cool to see the regeneration being used, like it being applied in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, dude, why are you doing? And I was like, oh, okay, he'll be fine.
He's clean.
Yeah, that was really, really cool to see.
Yeah. And Musica's just passing out the blood of Christ. You know, everybody's just in communion all over the place. We're all about to.
I was thinking, like, if it's so simple, like, why are so many more demons not, like, already pure-blooded? To where, like, they should have been walking, like, because civilians, there's no way civilians are denying it, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, they have the Imperial Army hunting for them and shit, but, like,
Yeah.
there's no way if you're telling these civilians, like, yeah, go ahead, sip some of this drink, you ain't never gonna degenerate again.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why are there not already so many more demons not, you know, in the capital? There would probably be none. I understand that, but like, you'd think most of the demons out in the, you know, militarized, I guess.
Yeah, civilian
Places
demons.
would be, yeah.
I don't know.
They're
It's
lacking. That's my point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like the secret. I mean, I guess that like I think civilians don't know about like pure blood. Period.
Yeah, why would they?
Yeah.
Yeah, why would they even want them to know about something like that?
Yeah. So I mean, that's all it is. Is that Musica is the last of the line of fucking, or the only one, only pure blood being left, and I don't know, the royal family still had some pure blood from the last, Musica's mom, dad, whoever, somebody, and they just keep it on deck for themselves, and that's how it is.
Yo, and I know that we've been like joking about it like for pretty much the entire life of this show, but like, what if it really is Phil, man? Like,
That'd
what
be
are
crazy.
we gonna do if Phil really comes out the cut on some?
Yada.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's like when else are we gonna see him again? Because like the last time we saw him was when like that strike team came to the house, right?
Yeah.
And like, what did obviously they either killed him or took him. They're not just gonna get the information from him and bounce and like leave him there.
He filled them full of holes. Hey.
Damn.
He had the blicky chilling. Like, yeah, let's go talk real quick.
The banger. The flapper. The Toolie Whopper.
Wow.
So I mean, we gotta talk about the Queen's transformation go crazy, just blowing out the walls though. Like she just blew out the castle walls, and then fucking 80 billion fucking faces there. So obviously those are kids that knew fucking Norman and Ray and Emma.
Yeah.
Those were the kids they sent off. And
we saw Connie, didn't we?
Was that Connie in there? I didn't.
Saw Connie.
Man, this manga is hurting my feelings, man. Connie.
Yeah, this.
Dude, I wasn't ready to see Connie again. If that was Connie, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely makes sense. And I mean, royal family having multiple cores is crazy, because so that either has to be a new development that Queen Legravalima has, or she knew that about her, because she offed her whole family to get where she is, basically. Right. So she had to lust fucking slash all the cores at once, or atomic fucking samurai them into pieces, or something, like no, like that's. I don't know, but I mean, she's definitely a spot of number 9, Aranello, because she just like fucking glutton turned into that big ass blobbish. But it was crazy how it just kind of cuts in half, and she just like walks out reborn.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. It's like a flash cocoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's like where can this go? And like that's like, it makes sense that Kayushira is going on break to do like research. I don't know what he could possibly be researching to figure out what he's gonna do to moving forward with this, but like that's such an intense development, you know what I mean? Like,
how am I gonna make it sense that we can kill this unkillable crazy fucking thing that is hiding? So what was that? Where like it's Yu Yu Hakusho. It's a fucking Elder Tagoro where he's hiding his heart in his body.
Yes. Plenty
like,
Yu Yu references today. The shirt is bringing them out of you.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yeah. Wow.
Love me some Togashi.
We can probably move on with that, though. There's not much else to it, I don't think.
I'm good.
So with that, chapter 225 of Black Clover, The Heart Kingdom.
Never a dull moment with the story, man. Like, like it's crazy that it's like smoke right away, right? Like,
it just always is.
Literal smoke.
There's very little like downtime. We just jump right back into some shit, and it's like what I loved right from the beginning of the chapter. It's like, here, have this fucking fruit juice thing. You got to pour your mana in to taste good. And Ass is like, come on, pour your fucking mana into mine, And Noel's like, fine, if I fucking got to, because you
obviously I have to because you have no mana.
Yeah, you little bitch.
I loved that.
Wow.
Yeah. And like they're doing like I remember, I think it was last chapter. Everyone was like super surprised to hear that this queen or this princess,
that's the difference. It was princess in some translations. It's queen in Viz. So I don't know.
So it's like she has like this huge mana zone, right? That like encompasses the entire
The biggest
kingdom. Well, I mean, the biggest, sure. Well, yeah, you could definitely say the biggest, but it's like everyone's acting like Julius didn't cover the entire kingdom with, you know, with his magic. But I mean, I guess it is kind of different because like when Julius did it that was all of his power.
Yeah.
He had to, and it was over with after that. But like this queen can just do that all the time. And
she does have a spirit though.
That's where I was gonna go with it. Is like, what if Julius had a spirit? You know, like you can't give man. Sprite. You can't give this man a spirit, you know, or sprite or no.
That's too much.
Yeah. But it's crazy that it's over the whole country and it's just like a passive, you know, like it's just, you know, she's just doing that at all times. It is very broken. It sounds very broken. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so cool seeing like Valkyrie armor in different characters. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever that is.
Yeah, it could be. I was gonna say that. Like, is that maybe she has like water clones? You know, Mizubushin. You know, no jutsu here. I don't know, but
hey.
Well, I thought that was just the actual form of the sprite.
Okay. Could be that too.
Like the sprite kind of took that.
So
form.
That's like an avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Very, very well could be. Well, because from the last chapter before, though, you know, the sprite looks like a fucking stand. It's a fucking humanoid fucking thing right behind the princess, you know. Yeah. So I mean, right. I don't know, you know, because like if you think of like Salamander, even with like Fana, that thing actually like fought it on its own. Basically, it was all pretty much its own being, and obviously we see from. Yeah, and obviously we see from fucking, you know, Sprite, whatever her name is, little pixie girl, she's got all her own shit to say all the time. So I mean, they're definitely their own beings, you know. So that's cool to see. But
it's interesting that like the queen is using like this armor type, like, you know, physical, you know, confrontation style magic, because like it's still magic cancel. You know what I mean? So like I'm interested to see how, like, if it does come to hands the way that it seems like it's going to. Like, how is she going to be able to deal with magic cancel with a magic that is like close combat, or it seems like it's close combat? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It sounds like she's gonna have multi fucking water clones, and that is a water clone, and that's why I was thinking that too. But because the other thing too is if she gets hit with fucking anti magic, is that going to fucking kill her whole mana zone? And now the barrier's down on the whole country, and what the fuck does that mean? You know, like that's a lot. That's a lot to think about. But I really still want to talk about so Asta gets fucking kidnapped or whatever and gets put into something similar as Naga's cradle or Sea Dragon's lair or whatever the hell, you know. I like Naga's cradle.
I like Naga's cradle too.
But he gets put into that and fucking, you know, shipped away, and then fucking I don't remember who says it. I think maybe Finral says it to the girls, like, hey, use reinforcement magic to jump. So to jump far as fuck. So that I don't think we've really gotten confirmation on that ever before, where it's like you're going to use your mana to increase your fucking physical ability. That's something that I felt like we really needed, and I was really happy to see that. And what's really great about it is that Gaja talks about that's third class magic. He says that reinforced magic, third class magic, but Valkyrie dress is first class magic. And he's like, ooh, Valkyrie dress. It feels like that might have it might have came from this country, you know. It might be something he's familiar with. It's like, I'm impressed with her, you know. She's got some first class magic on her, and that's great also to see, is that we're gonna get classes of magic, and what we're gonna, you know, put your spells in classes. Like I needed that too. Like I'm ready for that.
I will also deal with you wholeheartedly. He said, and he's got some really interesting like character magic or like symbol magic. It was weird. He had these like runes. Strings of runes.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Noel made a comment about how he's not using magic to float.
Right, he's just chilling. That might be some mana zone shit, like some really high level mana zone
help
shit
from the queen.
Oh yeah, maybe
be that
she's
too.
Just floating him.
I like high level mana zone too, though, like where it's just he's condensed mana around himself to hold himself in place in the air. Like that would be cool.
Going back to what you were saying about like the tier levels of like mana classification, what would really set it off is if we also got an explanation of how much more taxing each classification of spell inside of those tier levels drained you. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that was like something that I wish that we got in Naruto, is like a tier system of jutsu, and how much chakra it took to perform those jutsu, so that we had some kind of idea of how much, a ninja, could do. Like we had some kind of idea before the fact of like what was going to, like, okay, if I use Kamui here, or if I use, whatever it is, like, okay, he's going to be in trouble after this without him having to say, oh, I'm spent now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
gives us
foresight.
A firm parameter on like what's, what character should be able to do, which makes a lot of sense because Noel has like among the highest level mana there is. Noel has like the highest level mana that's not like enhanced by like a sprite or some other like special power like fucking Mars has the fucking diamond, but Noel just has naturally the highest mana, or well, maybe it's not naturally. I mean, this is why we're in this arc right now to kind of figure that out.
Right.
But that would make sense that she can run Valkyrie dress for so long and so effectively because of how high her mana is just innately. So that's I really hope we get that. That will be great.
Yeah, dude.
So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I think that's about it for this chapter.
Yeah.
We can move on to chapter 247 of My Hero Academia. Status report.
This was a really cool chapter, dude.
There was a lot, subtly, but there was a lot.
One thing I want to say is that Deku's explanation of like his quirk training was super Hunter vibes.
I was gonna say like like an entire wall of like literal text. Like I'm like I turn the page and I'm just like, here we go.
Yeah. Hey. And then you go through it and everyone's reacting like, holy shit, okay, you lost me at whatever the first sentence was, but Endeavor was just like, all right, and then Endeavor's just like unfazed. He's just like, all right, I see what you're saying. So it's this. So it's cool like to see, like
Endeavor's secretly a genius.
Well, yeah, but
he could like instantly analyze all of everything that Deku said one time. Well, his sidekick's like, that was too many words. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And Endeavor's like, boom, I got exactly what you're saying. You're one of us.
Yeah. It's just more and more, character moments for Endeavor showing like us what it means to be like number one hero from a non-All Might standpoint, right?
Yes.
So like it's like, of course he should be unfazed by an explanation like this because he is the tightest hero there is.
He's number one.
Mean? So, and also, that made, I remember I wanted to ask you guys, like, what do you think one of us meant?
Well, it means that his quirk damages his body, that his quirk is stronger than the software has now exceeded the hardware. I love that explanation by Eggman. So, it was clear in the
it straight up said your quirk also, you have a quirk that damages your body, so you're one of us.
So so then okay, great. So that's going back to like Endeavor's like time coming up as a hero where his power, he had to like find ways to regulate it. Yeah, because I mean like that's obviously implied from Shoto, right? Because
and flash fire too. I mean, just flash fire in general burns Endeavor too hot. But with this that raises a really important question though. It's like, isn't that happening to just about all heroes? Like, think about fucking Uraraka. She gets fucking like nauseous from using her power, or Oyama fucking using his naval beam gets weak. So
it's just the caveat. It's just quirk caveats then.
But maybe it's that those quirks are. I mean, we'll just use a number where like All For One is clearly the top tier, like S tier shit, and so is probably Endeavors where those actually damage their body physically. Where Uraraka or Oyama, like that's maybe like a B tier quirk where it's only hurting them like internally, subtly, sickness wise or something like
maybe
that.
It's more
so
mind over matter kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, I want more. Just for other characters, because it's like Bakugo's quirk is supposed to be broken, but that don't ever hurt him, like so.
I think we did get one time where his like there was like the recoil on his hands, like where I think it was when he was fighting Deku. No, not when he was fighting Deku, but I remember his training in the woods was like just keep firing off, blasts over and over again and see how much your hands can take because.
You're right.
Yeah,
you are right.
Because
I think it was at the sports festival.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you throw a baseball. Yeah, it's kind of like when you throw a baseball too hard or like a frisbee golf disc like too hard, and you feel that like strain like going down your like forearm and into your elbow. It's probably like something similar to that. But
dude, definitely. Yeah. I also want to talk about. It's really great to see that Bakugo. He's like, I'm a beast. fit like in all ways other than like
Yes.
internally like in my mind is like I got to grow in my mind. There's other things that I lack that might not be physical. Like I have these other things that I need to grow with. But it's crazy because it's crazy because of Hannibal's theory on I would butcher his theory.
What was he talking about?
How Bakugo's ability is based on nitroglycerin in the sweat,
what he was talking about,
and stress lowers. Man, I'll butcher his theory, but man, it was really good.
We can revisit it next week too. Like
we should.
We can go talk to him about it and then bring it back or maybe we can just have him on the episode next week. That would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, because it was a really good theory, and I really liked it.
But see, like, I also took away from that dialogue there with Bakugo. Sorry, I just want to say this real quick.
No problem.
When he said, "I'm here to find out what it is that I lack," the sidekick was like, "That's kind of arrogant." But like Endeavor was like, "No, like
that's the opposite.
He's not saying that because he thinks he's the tightest dude in the room. He's saying that because he genuinely is upset that he doesn't know what's wrong with him, and he knows that there is something, and he wants to figure out what it is."
That's
he said, this kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got it.
Yeah, and I just love seeing Endeavor's growth, throughout the series, and especially when we get that, like when Shoto kind of gives him that reality check, and it's like, hey, check it out, like don't stunt, because we're in your office right now, like you're still a piece of shit, like I don't fuck with you, like we're like here we're heroes, at home we're a family, you know what I mean, and I ain't forgot none of that family shit, so like be whatever kind of dude you want to be here, but like. Like it ain't over, and Endeavor is like, okay, and just like instantly respects it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love how Horikoshi didn't forget that, or didn't allow that whole entire situation to be swept under the rug. And a lot of people online think that that's like a fan reaction that like forced Horikoshi to like acknowledge that aspect of his storytelling. But I think that he was always going to like not let that slide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like Horikoshi knows what the fuck he's doing, and like just because there was a lot of like fan backlash in regard to like how this Endeavor like and Shoto situation was being handled, coincidentally right before this chapter comes out, where Endeavor like is starting to like really go into like what atonement means, was just a coincidence. I don't think that this was anybody twisting Horikoshi's arm, like because like he's been sowing like seeds for this development for a while. You know what I mean? So
I definitely agree there. I just loved how just this whole Shoto versus Endeavor's, their interaction even started because Shoto's like, I'm here for, and Endeavor's like, you're here to master fucking flash fire. That's what you're here for. And then Shoto's like, no.
He's like, listen here, bitch.
No. No, fuck no. Exactly.
Checked him.
Yeah. I loved it.
But this is one of the best redemptions that I've ever seen in manga. You know what I mean? In the form of Endeavor. So like I feel like this is being played very well, and it's not just something that could have came out of nowhere. Like this is something that has obviously been seriously thought about and handled very well over time. So like Horikoshi is like slowly establishing himself as one of the better long game players in manga storytelling, and I feel like this redemption arc inside of Endeavor's character is a really big testament to it. So
Hero's 1,000 chapter manga. Like I feel like it. I just feel like it. I mean, it just feels like it. It just does. And one more thing that I really had to say too is that Shoto did have like inner monologue that's like, I'm going to try to kind of check you in front of people and see how you act. And then he said, what sort of dad are you going to be now after I've like, shown you up, so to speak? And Endeavor did what I didn't think he would, exactly what you're talking about, his growth, where he's just like, bet. All right, fine. I'll let you do you. You're here as a regular hero. You ain't even my kid. We're about to get stronger your own way. Fuck it. Do your thing.
Do it up.
Yeah. And the task that he gives him, is really cool. Like subjugate an enemy before I can by the end of his term. Super sick. Cool. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That'll be wild if all three. I mean, of course, all three of them are going to do that, but like, it's like, whoa, how are you? Like, that basically means that you've shown up the number one hero. So, like, you're basically a number one hero. I mean, at least close to it. A lot closer than you were.
Once again, shout out to the guy Shads, because he said something on Twitter that was talking about how like Endeavor said that there are 3 main principles to being a hero, and there's three interns here, which kind of implies that each of them excel in one of those areas already. Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but it's like the areas were
that's super cool if that's
the areas were fighting, just flat out fighting. Bakugo. So who is that? Bakugo, that's what I would think. And then one is rescue okay, and then the other was like containment, I guess, which would be
it was like
Shoto.
Evacuation help.
Yeah, evacuation help, but I mean, like, whose quirk is better suited for that? Obviously, Todoroki's got the biggest AoE, so
he's just gonna Iceman slide the fuck out of there, you know?
Yeah, or wall off conflict.
Yeah. So that's good. Well, and as long as we're shouting out Twitter people, we also got to shout out Blue, because mad people were complaining about the fucking wall of text for fucking Deku's explanation on his fucking quirk. And that's basically what she said. She's like, is this the Lord of the Rings? Is this eight Harry Potter books? It's fucking 2 paragraphs. Like, stop being a little bitch.
Like you're reading. You're a reader.
I know.
Fucking read.
How are you crying about this? Go read Hunter's fucking Succession arc, and then come cry about this shit. You know, how about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wow, you guys are crying about
some wild text pages in the Succession War arc, man.
I'm here for all that. Give me all that. I want all Togashi's words. I'll read a light novel of Hunter right now.
The only time
when he just like puts out a whole entire page with it like entirely white panels, no background, just text. I'm like, come on, G.
I read books, so
but right now we're reading Manga. I want some pictures too.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
let's put the text over it. He usually puts the text over a background, and I'm like, okay, we chilling. But this man literally said,
with one half of a face.
I'm like, oh,
you get one half of a face, and then just text.
Hey, it's Hunter though. Like, Hunter is one of the most complex fucking. I mean, that's just how it is, you know. And that's why I like to see that in other stories like Hero, because I need a lot of that in Hero to me, because I feel like there's still kind of like I'm still kind of in the dark. Maybe we all are, but just like I don't know. Like there just needs to be more explanation on all this like quirk gene shit, you know, multiple quirks, you know, and I haven't maybe fit all the puzzle pieces together quite yet. So
maybe now that we're going into secondary evolutions, we're going to start getting a little bit more of that from this Dr. Eggman, like Moira McTaggart character that we get here. So I feel like we're going to get a lot more exposition on that, like in later chapters, especially if it is going to go into some kind of time skip situation where we'll probably get like heavy exposition chapters before and after explaining certain things that we have questions about. Because that usually is like the theme, like whenever there is a time skip, it's like, okay, here's a bunch of words, time skip, here's a bunch of words, and then continue the story. It's just a good place for it. So
So that's all I got.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we can probably move on to the GOAT back from break this week. One Piece.
Yeah, dude.
And start out with the cover chapter.
Yes.
Yeah,
cover chapter. Hey,
Capone on Dressrosa
with the blicky on the bridge,
and that's all tight. But I really want to just talk about. Well, we don't really talk about. I just want to highlight how the fact it talks about a battle-scarred country, and you can see the fucking birdcage scars throughout the whole fucking shit.
Yes, dude.
Like, that I just thought that was cool, you know. Like, and I just always want to mention the cover page, even if it's like not, you know.
Yeah.
The
cover pages are more significant in One Piece than in any other book, right? So it's like it makes sense to at least briefly touch on it because Oda makes a point to like make that matter. So I feel like if we're going to be, you know, reviewing and critiquing his work, that we should definitely focus on
bring up
every
the cover
single
pages.
aspect of it. Yeah, absolutely. So that's good.
So ships for 5,000 men makes me feel like Viz was wrong when they said 100,000 men. 5,000 and 100,000 is way fucking different.
It's a big difference.
I think they just are saying a bunch of different shit because I know also in this
Viz is always saying a bunch of different.
I think Frankie was honestly just capping.
Yeah, maybe
because in this chapter Frankie says 5,000.
The problem with that is that every other translation I saw said 10,000. The difference between 10,000 and 100,000 is not. It's not semantics. It's not, and it's not semantics. Those are numbers. Like that's just facts. Like when you look at 3 other translations and they all say 10,000 and Viz says 100,000, feel like
that's a mistake.
This just wants to be I'm the coolest. I make the rules around here. 100,000. That's what we don't care what Oda says. 100,000. That's what we're running.
How feeling today? 100,000 or 100,000? All right, 100,000 today. Flip it.
That's what I want to get paid.
Money when 100,000 motherfuckers show up.
Hey, hey.
I will be feeling real funny, and I'll shout you out when it happens.
No, it probably won't be. There's no way.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't see how.
There's no way.
I don't even think if everybody we've met in the story thus far came to help.
Right.
That there would be 100,000 people.
It's still not 100,000. Yeah.
Yeah, even including fodder, 100,000 throughout the entire series is too many characters.
That's a lot.
Nah, because there was 100. No, it was 50,000. No, Luffy knocked
on Fishman Island. Yeah, there was 100,000 there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
But yeah.
Okay.
So it's attainable, but that's a lot of motherfuckers.
Can we talk about Oda Nobunaga Luffy real quick, fam?
The Sugoi boys?
What's cracking with the Sugoi boys, fam?
The Sugoi boys were out there.
Brooke looking crazy too, G.
So like you guys saw the color spread that people put online from the Groggy Ring arc, where Luffy is wearing this exact same outfit in that color spread.
No, I have not seen that. I mean, I'm sure I saw it a long time ago, but I definitely don't remember it.
I'm gonna say some things here real quick about it. Kiko, bring up chapter 381, I think it is, Groggy Ring, and look at the color spread from that chapter, because
I'm just gonna do it on the phone. It's quicker.
Do it on the phone, because look, Brett. Maybe you can just Google Groggy Ring color spread or something like that. But fam, or put it in the Discord.
The Manga Rock app gets you there quick.
Yeah, so bro, check it out. So when you look at this color spread, dude, not only is he it's not just him wearing samurai armor, he's got the same Phoenix insignia that you see on his chest plate in this chapter on
fucking Oda.
But that's not all. Man. That's not all.
What's the chapter number again?
I think it's 381.
All right.
Groggy Ring. But that's not all though. So like when you pull that up, you're gonna see that he's in this Bushido armor, or the samurai armor. He's got the same Phoenix insignia from the chest plate in this current chapter on his knee or something like that is where it is. But also in the back, I want to wait until you guys pull it up so you can see the color spread.
So that's not it. Groggy Ring 310.
Yeah, 310.
Yeah, I'm like, this ain't the right chapter.
It's in the 300s.
Yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to put on the phone, but
that's good. That's good enough. But hold on, look behind Luffy at that dragon.
Why is Kaido pink and in the back?
That's Momonosuke.
I'll throw my phone across the whole fucking fist right now, bro. Throw my phone across the room right now. What the fuck?
It's Momonosuke, dude.
That is Momonosuke. What the?
Isn't that so crazy?
The god Goda, man. What can you say, man?
Goda-sama! Goda! Yo,
that is officially
nuts. He's really got the Kozuki insignia on his fucking pants right here.
That's officially the tightest callback in the entire series to me.
Maybe in the history of the world, if ever.
Yeah,
like
that's the tightest callback there is, bro.
That's literally 600 chapters, more than that, like 680 chapters ago or something.
That's like Laboon, and Brook levels. That's like Shanks using Conqueror's Haki in the first chapter levels. Like these are the top 3 callbacks. You know what I mean? Actually, Mr. Prince and Little Garden being wildly significant to Sanji's character in the Whole Cake Island arc is actually like up there too for me. But like all of that, like these are the reasons.
How does this man do this?
These are the reasons why this is the best manga at the very least.
The greatest story ever told.
Yeah.
Put some respect on fucking One Piece, god damn it! Stop.
Don't make us pull up. Don't make us pull up.
Seriously. At this, if you're not reading One Piece for any reason, just stop being a fucking idiot. Seriously.
If you're not watching it, that's fine. Toei's ass, but you have to read. You have to fucking read.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously.
It's like, dude, that's too crazy.
And anybody who says, "Oh, One Piece is too long," have you fucking watched Naruto? Because that shit is pretty fucking long too. It's about 600, 700 chapters, 800 episodes total, so you don't get to say shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like once you get invested in the series, you don't care how long it is.
Yeah, happy it's this long.
Yeah, exactly. If the chapter length or the episode length is daunting to you, just watch it until you love it, and then you don't want it to end. So you're gonna be mad when it does. So like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's
you know
that.
what I mean? Yeah, like
point blank period. That's
how
it.
crazy is
That's
Momonosuke
all.
and the Kozuki insignia though in the Groggy Ring chapter? We were just talking about put some respect on the Davy back fight.
Yeah, last week. What the hell?
Last week.
And people literally skipped the Davy back
I know,
fight
even
arc.
in the
Like, there's
manga,
people
too,
that
even
dropped
in the
One
manga.
Piece and picked it back up after. Like,
And I'm telling you too, in the anime, it's still one of my favorite parts ever because it's my favorite OST. Sanji, boom, anti-mana, kick a course, and kicks the fucking.
people who didn't watch that arc really think Sanji and Zoro hate each other. Like,
Oh, dude,
y'all
come
don't know
on,
that
man.
they're like they got the coldest teamwork there. The raw. Oh my.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Hey, and that's a good segue to what I want to talk about because I do got to go read this and why. Okay, so the Sanji talking shit to Zoro, and you two don't get to talk about this because we've already had a fucking big. Yeah, you guys are canceled. Let me
Go ahead.
Let me just talk. Yeah.
Just
No.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because Sanji talking shit to Zoro about his bounty, like the difference between Viz and other things. Let me find it real quick here because
This is
it'll
the
just take
biggest
a
moment
second.
of contention in this segment that we could ever
Yeah, and that's
have, but
why-
we're not
that's-
going to let it get there.
Yeah, no.
Because we got
So,
Viz versus other translations, and we got Sanji versus Zoro like arguments that could
So-
potentially spawn from this.
so Viz only has all Viz says is like, oh yeah, you got your bounty or whatever is a little or whatever, you got a bounty, and then but so what Sanji says in other translations I see is oh, you don't want to wear any armor, nah, it'll just slow me down. He's like, I get it, you got a pretty big bounty gap to make up for, as Sanji says, and then Enma boom cuts a piece of the fucking thing off, and what Sanji says is, whoa, you trying to scrap Mosshead? I'll trim your lawn right now. That's definitely a joke. The Marimo, Mosshead fucking, I'll trim your lawn. That's like, there's a play on words there that was definitely translated that way.
Yes.
Like, I mean, that was meant. There's definitely a play of words there. The Viz just
meant
cuts
for
out.
Japanese people, which we're not.
But I mean, how do you say that though when it's so easily, like, you could just it's so easy to, like,
That's not your folk tale.
What did the Viz say though?
It says
it says nothing. It says, why don't you put some of that stuff on? He says, yeah, that's why your bounty is lower, and that's it. That's why your bounty is lower. Whoa,
Zoro says,
watch
"Nah,
it.
it'll
Don't
only
make me
slow
end you.
down."
No
Yeah,
way. He
that's why your
just
bounty is
says
low.
that.
Yeah, don't make me end you. That's it.
Oh, come on, man.
It's like
That's so
Dude.
lame, dude.
he's like,
Well,
Marimo,
see, but,
I'll
like,
trim
that's
your
where you
lawn
run
right
into,
now.
like, where for a Japanese person it's significant because there's
Yeah.
the reference there. For an American person, if this dude says, I'm gonna trim your lawn right now,
Yeah.
that's corny as fuck.
No, because
It's not corny.
because
To
we
anybody
remember
Of
who
that-
doesn't
Marimo, of
actually-
Marimo.
because we
Anybody who doesn't actually delve deeply into the, like, for a casual manga reader,
Yeah,
him saying, a casual American manga reader,
yeah.
him saying, I'm gonna trim your lawn is corny.
But that's just an important
There's
character
no
moment. Hold on,
reference
hold
to
on, let me say
any
something.
folk tale or anything like that. You know what I
Hold
mean?
on, no. It's a reference to the relationship that they've had throughout the entire series with Sanji's
Definitely.
slur to Zoro, and that just strengthens their character dynamic because they're not like, these are just things that have always existed throughout the series. Like, he makes fun of his hair that way all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's no lawns of moss.
All right.
Still, it's I'll
I
run your
get it,
fade.
I get
I'll
it.
push your wig back.
I
Like,
mean, I
I'll
got
peel
it.
your
I mean,
cap back. I'll
yeah,
yeah.
like,
I
Anyway,
get it.
bottom line, it's amazing to see banter.
It's a culture gap.
It's
Yeah.
amazing to see banter like between, because we don't get these kind of character moments very often.
I missed Zoro.
yeah,
and
like
Sanji,
I
man.
miss I miss these straw hat character moments that we got in this chapter. So it's really good to see them like bickering, this way again, because like I think the last time we saw them interact with each other at all was in the middle of the city when they were fighting with Kyoshiro and that little scuffle that eventually the rest of it got off screen. But like, like where they were standing next to each other, and he saved the little girl, I can't remember her name.
not Otama, the other one.
Yeah.
Smiley one. Otoko, yep.
Yeah, Otoko, yeah. So like, I think that was the last time that they were even like, I think that was the last time that they were even really, engaging each other at all. And they didn't even really say anything. I think they just looked at each other like, oh, you're here. You know what I mean? But it's cool to see like these little like, outside of conflict situations where they're just kind of arguing with each other, because I feel like I've been missing that in this series for a while. So
Yeah, and I really like how when we're talking about, man, maybe I shouldn't even go. Let's just take it back here because I don't want to go right here. When we're talking about the Straw Hat moments, we have the bickering between Sanji and Zoro, which is great. We got the Sugoi boys,
Yes.
like without Usopp, it kind of made me sad that Usopp wasn't there to be a Sugoi boy with the rest of the Sugoi boy squad here.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's great. But what I was going to talk about is obviously the Jinbei talk. Like, I mean, that's huge. Like, why is Jinbei not here? Like he should be here by now.
Oh, you think Jinbei's not here?
And he very well could be, yeah, definitely. But what really stood out to me is that Luffy is talking to Zoro only.
Yeah.
That's captain to first mate talk only. Like, and Zoro's like, nah, he's coming. He's good. We got him. Like,
which I think is even more implied by when Orochi is going through. Because like it's cool to see that like Orochi is like not just an ugly face that you want to get pushed in, like he's actually like a really serious like tactical like war mind.
He got 9,000 IQ.
Yeah, right. Yeah, which is really
over
cool
9,000.
But when he has all of his goons destroy the bridges and whatnot, and then those one soldiers attack the Sunny. You know what I mean? And it's like, what do you guys think is up with that?
Adam Wood's too strong for all that bullshit.
Is it?
Bomb. He survived Big Mom.
Yeah. But
Wait,
Big Mom was ripping chunks off. But that made sense because that's the most beastly fucking character in the game is fucking Big Mom and Kaido, basically. Like, where it's just straight up raw strength. Big Mom might be the most raw strength character in the whole series. Even more so than Kaido. But I don't know. Maybe Kaido has higher hockey, and because kind of felt like
he's got hyper beam. I don't know what a lot of people are doing
about
hyper beam.
and the Thunder Bagua, So I mean, maybe Big Mom is just like straight brute force.
Like,
more
obviously, you want to say the Sunny is just unfazed by these bombs. I mean, that doesn't seem as likely, at least to me, that it would just. I mean, I would love to see that, but I think it would be
Adam would.
I think it would be way cooler if Jinbei was just like, you can't destroy this shit. And then he's just right there holding the Sunny down. That would be such an incredible reintroduction to his character in this arc.
Yeah, that's good.
That would be so sick. Because they're talking about him, you know what I mean? They're like, don't worry, bro. He's pulling up. What I mean? Like,
we can finally put this thing to bed where so many people fucking thought Zoro was going to like be on some fuck boy bitch boy shit where he was gonna fucking while out and try and look at
what do you mean?
I know
where are we going?
Where he's gonna try and get mad about the whole Cake Island thing where he's like, why is Big Mom here?
It's all Sanji's fucking thing.
I'm leaving the crew. I'm like, shut the fuck up. He's not leaving the crew.
No, and it makes so much more sense.
Look. He's heard all this. Big Mom's. Luffy said Big Mom's here. Jinbei's not. He's seen Sanji. He knows what went down. What he did. He's not. Nobody's gone into what went down, but he's like, we'd be happy to have him. That's all he said. He didn't say no shit about like, Big Mom. Yeah.
No, and the big difference.
He's ride or die.
And the big difference is that Usopp was being a bitch over almost petty, like personal shit. Like this was very, and though it makes a little bit more sense, like if you think like, okay, we're abandoning Mary, so Mary's weak and I'm weak, so I could be abandoned next, and that's why Usopp, took it so personally. But I mean, Luffy's like, that's an inanimate object. At the end of the day, that's not a real thing. I mean, it's wood, and that's different from a person, and it is, even though we can consider that our Nakama, but that's far different than what Sanji did. Sanji left the crew to not get the crew involved, because if Sanji marries into the family, Luffy becomes Big Mom's subordinate. Damn well that ain't fucking happening. Right. So like Sanji took the sacrifice on himself to save the crew. That's far different than what Usopp did.
And Zoro would be like, you're a real ass dude for that. If it really came down to it, Zoro would be like, if anything, that would be the moment where he's like, okay, I really fuck with you now. I mean,
they always do. They secretly do. Like I said,
verbally.
Yeah. It'll come one day where like they, they
each
like
other by their names.
Yeah, verbally love each other.
Yeah.
And Sanji was trying to be on some like machismo fucking whatever. Like his plan at first was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go over there, tell him fuck off, and come back. Like, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. But,
I think that was just kind of what he was saying that was gonna happen.
As the shit went on, it like became clear that he wasn't getting out of this shit, and then he kind of fell deeper and deeper into despair. Shit happens.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Man, there's
Whole Cake
still
Island's probably my favorite arc now.
Yeah.
In hindsight,
Whole Cake Island did a lot for the series. I mean, in regard to like introducing like new stakes as to what it means to be in the new world, and you know what I mean. Because like, for a while it seemed kind of light. You know what I mean? Whole Cake Island was that first arc that really put things into perspective. Like, no, they don't just get tight for 2 years and come and run the whole rest of the story. Like this is, I mean, Dressrosa kind of did that a little bit too, but I feel like you really felt the stakes really in Whole Cake Island.
And there was just so much good shit. I mean,
just because no damage. That shit was insane.
Bro.
Yeah, and like,
there's a lot of good stuff that I feel is overlooked. Like, so one thing is how strong Cracker is really. I feel like Cracker kind of gets like thrown in the dumpster as like not that strong, but it's like, bro, he had Nami countering him the whole fucking time. Nami countered his ass the whole time while Luffy fought him, and they fought for like fucking 15 hours or some shit.
Yeah, I think it was a couple days, wasn't it?
Might have been, I
think it was 11 hours. The Cracker fight.
Yeah. It felt like it was a couple days in the anime.
And it was basically a 2v1. It was basically a 2v1 where Nami's going to be countering him the whole time. And it's like, that's a big fucking deal. I feel like Cracker is maybe a little overlooked with how strong he really is. And then my favorite Whole Cake moment is when Sanji's standing on the table, fucking, Diablo jumbled out with the fucking family standing up like, oh, I could just let these motherfuckers end you right now.
Yeah.
But
so
I'm that man's, and I'm gonna let my family get out of this. And I mean that was huge.
My family.
Yeah.
Back to the chapter.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, I think probably the biggest implication. Koziki Oden.
Man.
Flashback next week.
Yeah,
hide your kids, hide your wife.
Like,
Oden's raping everybody out here.
The pop culture reference is real. But that was
raping everybody out here.
More so to American people. I don't think that probably wasn't in the Japanese translation, just because.
No,
I don't think that was a meme over there like it was over here.
Yeah.
No,
hide your kids, hide your wife.
But I mean, I don't know. Oden is pretty weird to see that he doesn't. He's like one of the characters that like doesn't wear pants. I wonder what that's all about.
Because he's raping everybody out here,
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
I mean, none of these Japanese dudes, none of these Wano dudes wear pants. They got longer kimonos. He rocking them.
That's because you are so dumb. You are so dumb.
Yo.
That was so good.
Yeah. I want to learn about this, something that hasn't been mentioned since the first time we saw it. The fucking original poneglyph with all the fucking Kokeshi dolls around it.
Yeah.
That has not been brought up a single time since we saw it the one time Brooke went and they're like, oh, I saw some old ass poneglyph with all these dolls around it. I'm like, that's the original poneglyph or some shit.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. Yeah. There's something hugely significant about like not only the poneglyph but the dolls.
It's the poneglyph that gives the fucking blueprint on how to make how the poneglyphs are made.
Yeah,
I think that was I think the most common theory. I think that people think that that's what it was. So
I like that.
I think that makes the most sense. But even before that, I really want to talk about how Shinobu is crying profusely and does not look like the traitor in her panel, at least in her panel.
Yeah, I saw that. I was hoping that we could gloss over that.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily, because there's clearly a traitor. There's no way. Orochi says, my intel is good, and I don't give a fuck what any of these people think about what I'm saying. My intel is good. I know this shit is real, and this is really happening. So there's definitely a traitor. There's definitely somebody leaking info to
If it's not Shinobu,
Orochi.
it's Carrot or Kanjuro. And the reason why is because Jack and them found Zunisha. And that's not something you can find on a map. And you knew exactly.
Kanjuro was the first one captured.
Yeah.
Kanjuro was captured.
Yeah.
Kinemon and Momonosuke had to leave him on Dressrosa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they turned him over to Kaido, and then they found him on Zoe, right?
Yeah.
They turned him over to Kaido. He got his ass tortured. They said, "Where the fuck your homies at?" And yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense as far as like giving up the plan on Wano, because he had no idea about the plan on Wano. At least in that much depth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it has to be like a current player of the story. I mean, it could still be Kanjuro, I guess, because he could still be, he could have something over Kanjuro somehow, or a devil fruit that possesses him. But I doubt that. That's going too far.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah.
But
I mean, it has to go all the way back to Zoe, though, right? Because like there's just no reason why Jack and his people just pulled right up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you don't just like
twice, right? Didn't they leave and come back even?
I think so. Yeah, so it's like that's where the leak started. You know what I mean? So it's like it has to have been someone that has been in with them since Zoe. So it's like
maybe there's Satellite Tombo, fucking devil fruit,
and there's just no spy.
Yeah, I mean, or just like there's some kind of thing on Kanjuro, like some kind of surveillance device or whatever that they put in him somehow.
Ooh, the sneaky Den Mushi.
Yeah.
Yo,
could be
100.
How about Hold'em killing everybody in Leftovers Town? Or did he actually kill did Usuru die? Did Kinemon's wife die?
No,
I don't know.
I mean, it shows I mean, they're crying about how Leftover Town took our L for us, so they didn't find out exactly what happened. Because that's the other thing too, is that Ushimitsu Kozo, who's basically Robin Hood, who steals all the food and whatever and gives it to whatever the poor, but they've been stealing mass amounts of food that has not gone to Leftovers Town, and we don't know where it's going. Well, presumably it's going to the rebellion, whatever, Luffy's crew, whatever, the whole against Kaido team, Red Sheaths and shit. But it's I don't know, like if Kiroshiro isn't Denjiro, is Ushimitsu Kozo Denjiro? I mean, because who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. Like this Robin Hood character.
I feel like it's still gonna be like quite a while before we finally get that. And I feel like Oda's not gonna like give us too many hints. I feel like that's like the biggest reveal that we're waiting for in this story. Especially now that we're getting like the Odin shit. I mean, obviously besides the Zoro flashback that we're undoubtedly getting eventually, but like,
do you think the Sugoi boys got Meito on their waist?
Hold on, bro.
and not even Luffy and Chopper in particular, but what about Brook? Brook's actually a swordsman. He could
Nitoryu.
No, it doesn't even have to be Nitoryu. It could just be, replace this fucking, cane sword.
Cane sword, yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like he just has to. I mean,
he has to stay a fencing.
He's got to rock the cane sword.
Unless he gets I don't know. I feel like that would make me uncomfortable if he all of a sudden was just. I mean, unless it's just for this arc only, and he just rocks the katana for this arc. But
can he make Soul Solid into a Meito? Like, can it eventually acquire? I mean, it can't, right? Like a Meito has to be.
Yeah.
I don't know, like crafted that way, because I mean
or maybe you can give a name to your sword just because you're that tight, and that's just the sword you were using when your legacy was like a.
Yeah, but how does it get classified? Into what ranks or whatever?
I don't even think Brook needs him. Like, I think he's about to just like awaken his. I think his devil fruit's just gonna awaken, and that's just gonna be like.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. raise the souls of the Rumbar pirates to fight for him.
That would be nuts.
That would be so lit.
The Roomba pirates are just fucking little automated fucking vacuums that drive around the fucking.
Damn.
Fucking DJ Roomba.
That would be so lit.
Yeah.
That would be hella lit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think all we got. Odin flashback next week. That's what we gotta have, I assume.
Flashbacks would be so crazy. The biggest thing to me though is like when I saw that color spread like online, like I don't even think
that is still blowing my mind.
Yeah, I don't even think that like the people like online, because they were making a big deal about the Kozuki insignia, and I was like, do y'all not see Momonosuke right there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's so wild.
It is. It
The
definitely
Chinese
is.
dragon in the back. The
Yeah,
big blue.
the pink
And it's
one.
pink. It's pink. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Oda the god. That's all I can
so
say. I don't know.
Dude, like, how do you do that? Like, you're a
That's-
robot. You're an alien. Like,
One
you're not
Piece-
a real person.
One Piece
That's how
theorized
that
it
just
was
goes
a
to
waste
show
of
how
time.
long ahead he's had this Wano shit planned, and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
If you think you know better than Oda, like you're just wrong.
Right, yeah.
All these people that are trying to like theorize, and it's like, hey, I mean, I know it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do.
A lot
We're
of
all
shit
gonna
you're
do
saying
it.
sounds great, but
Yeah.
you know, like, you're just not going to be able to guess these things that he does, regardless of how much research you do on the history of the story. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you can say a lot of shit that sounds incredible. Like, you did the work. Like, it's something to be acknowledged, but it's like some people are just like,
He's a higher level being. He's the god. What can we say?
like, yeah, I don't know, but that's all I had. I don't know.
it's just literally the same exact outfit.
I swear to God.
But why does it feel like this chapter 310 cover spread is like the art is like shitting on this art from this most recent chapter?
Because
dude,
that's how
I've
it was.
been saying-
Oda tried harder back then.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, maybe he just had more to give back then.
Exactly right. That's
You
what
know,
it really is.
yeah,
It's not
you know
tried
what I mean?
harder. It's
Yeah,
that
like, it's just there's more. He's more complete. Like, there's more. Like, he's been like, you know, like, deteriorating for the last 20, 15,
Yeah.
10, 15 years. You know.
yeah,
I
he
mean,
was
like,
he was 25 back then. He's 45 now. You know,
yeah,
whatever.
It's
you know,
like, yeah, or whatever it is. It's just like, dude, like, he just can't
Well,
do it like
And
that.
when people badmouth like One Piece art sometimes, which happens rarely, it's not like that's like a common thing, but it's like anything that I'd ever say to anybody is like the art's exactly where it needs to be the greatest story ever told. And I'll always say
Yeah.
that, because
Yeah.
it's like Oda can go off when he wants to,
Yeah,
but
and he still
if he-
snaps regularly. So,
Yeah. and if we can't expect him to do that every panel, like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
and
that's
these volume
unrealistic.
covers and these color spreads are still going crazy, so relax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and his landscapes are still fire. So
But this one just must have he must have just put a lot of time into this, because he knew this was gonna have huge significance down the line when he put this motherfucker in the same exact outfit. So maybe he just went super hard on because if you look at this motherfucker's out, like the ripples in the fucking fabric and just the shading is like godly.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
is.
what the fuck?
yeah, dude.
I mean, he obviously
Holy
knew. He obviously the level of planning that he had before the story even came about is just out of control. Like, it doesn't even make any sense how well thought out this story must have been far before we got to Alabasta. Like, I mean, maybe even before it even started. It's so hard to say, but like, I mean, how important is the moon, and how many times the moon references come up? You know, like how often? Like, I mean, in this fucking the Kozuki fucking crest is the moon, and Tsuki is moon. You know, like, so
that's right.
It's
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
Man. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for
Yeah.
that info to
The
finally
moon
be.
arc.
Yeah, dude. Enel's gonna be like, "What's poppin'?"
he's just gonna pull his pants down and moon everybody. You know.
Wesh path.
The final chapter of One Piece.
He's just like, all right, I'm gonna fuck with you. Dances everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man.
All right, but yeah,
All right, yeah.
that about wraps it up.
Sure does.
That'll do it for this episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you've been enjoying the Project Manga Podcast so far. Make sure you comment down below. Let us know what you thought of this Weekend Jump. And also visit the link tree in the box down below. And in there you can find our Discord. You can come chill and hang out with us there, and also all of our other online communities. Also, you can find the links to other audio listening platforms that you can listen to the podcast on. So do that up. And with that all being said, this will be another stupendous episode of the Project Manga Podcast. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Eagle Summer.
It's your boy Kiko.
Noxie.
Sarabada.